My paranormal encounters as a child. I have three very unique experiences from when I was a child and thought this would be an appropriate place to share and hopefully receive some kind of validation. So this first story, my first experience was from when I must have been about 4 years old. My mom would tuck me in bed every night and close the door to my room. I always insisted on having my door closed as I could not sleep if it was open. It would remain closed until I got up and left my bedroom in the mornings. One night my mom tucked me in and left the room, closing the door behind her. I fell asleep, then in the middle of the night woke up again. My door was wide open and standing there completely still was a fully black cloaked figure that was as tall as the door frame. I instantly tucked my head under the covers to hide and cry myself back to sleep. When I tell this story to people, they write it off as a dream. And part of me wants to rationalize it that way. But the thing that confirms it was real for me is that when I woke up again in the morning, my door was still wide open. I cannot explain that away. My second experience was over a period of a couple of months. This story was when I was about 9 years old. I had been having my usual random dreams as I normally did, all unique to each other and normal, apart from one thing. Near the end of every dream, I would look down on my wrist and see a small line. Each dream, it grew a little bigger, and I remember thinking it was a bit strange, but did not spend too much time thinking about it. That was until the last dream I had featuring this wrist line. In this last dream, the line had fully wrapped around my wrist like a bracelet. I don't remember the rest of the dream other than it had an overwhelming sense of dread. When I woke up, I looked down at my wrist and I had left a tight rubber band from school around my wrist that night, and it had caused my hands to swell like a bunch of bananas. This one creeps me out because it was almost like this line on my wrist was a countdown timer to when I'd make this mistake. So my final story, this one was when I was about 12 years old. Me and my older sister shared a room at this point, and it was just a normal day after school. It was just me and her in the house, and she went to have a shower while I was sitting in the bed playing Xbox. Normally my mom will not be home until about 5:30 p.m. from work, but at about 4 p.m. I heard the front door handle being pushed down quickly but loud. It was a very specific noise I'd known since I was tiny. When my mom would come home, I would hear the key turn in the door, the handle go down, then the creak of the door opening. But all I heard was the handle. I thought, oh no, mom is going to be mad we forgot to lock the door. But then I heard nothing else. Eventually, I went downstairs and saw the door was closed and locked. I still cannot explain what that noise I heard was. It was a very distinct noise to me as a child. The sound of that old clunky door handle was nothing like any other sound that I could rationally think of. Anyway, that is my weird little stories that I still cannot explain to this day. Let me know what you think in the comment section.